School-age children. Healthy eating habits established during the early school years persist into adulthood and can help prevent and delay chronic diseases later in life. Health habits and eating patterns of school-age children are primarily influenced by the home, school, media, and school environment. Healthy eating habits established during the early school years persist into adulthood and can help prevent and delay chronic diseases later in life. Health habits and eating patterns of school-age children are primarily influenced by the home, school, media, and social environment. Parents and caregivers need to model healthy eating and an active lifestyle. Regular family meals provide an opportunity to develop a predictable routine, provide parents with the opportunity to model healthy eating and acceptable table manners, and allow the family to catch up with each other's day. This is something that a lot of families no longer do. Everyone seems to grab their own meal, go to their rooms, watch in front of the TV. But even if it's not able to do this every day, it should be done several times a week if possible. Growth and development. Growth during the elementary school years is slow but steady. Children will grow an average of 2 inches per year and will grow between 1 to 2 feet between the ages of 6 and 12. Their weight will increase an average of 4.5 to 6.5 pounds per year, almost doubling between these ages. An anthropometric assessment is done to monitor the growth of school-age children. These measures include height, weight for height, and BMI. Health screenings should be done to detect adequate growth and development, abuse and neglect, malnutrition, obesity, eating disorders, and bizarre eating habits. Nutritional assessment. A dietary assessment should be conducted to determine the child's health and nutrition status. It is necessary to determine what is eaten, how much is eaten, where it is eaten, and with whom. And ideally, the information should be gathered separately from the child and the caretaker because they may have different perspective, or one may over-report or under-report on what is eaten. Time may not allow for comprehensive assessment of nutrients. However, the diet can be quickly assessed for adequacy against the major food groups of My Plate and the dietary guidelines for Americans. Recommendations should be made accordingly. Routine counseling should address healthy eating, physical activity, maintaining a healthy weight, and oral health. Physical activity patterns, TV viewing habits, and sleep patterns should also be assessed since they impact overall health and well-being. They also may be a factor in childhood obesity. Routine counseling should address healthy eating, physical activity, maintaining a healthy weight, and oral health. Physical activity patterns, television viewing habits, and sleep patterns should also be assessed since they impact overall health and well-being. They also may be factors in childhood obesity. Nutrition needs. Studies consistently show that most American children do not consume a diet that meets the dietary guidelines for Americans. National survey data show that children's diet are low in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fiber, and dairy, but high in sugar, sodium, and fat. Compared to younger children, school-age children often skip breakfast, consume more foods away from home, and eat more fried foods and sweetened beverages. They also tend to have low intakes of dairy products as well as fruits and vegetables, except for fried potatoes. Sodium intake should be limited by limiting processed foods. Fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids, are important for children's cognitive development. Children 4 years and older should consume 25 to 35% of their daily calorie intakes from fats. And healthy sources of fats include avocados, peanut butter, hummus, nuts, and seeds. Carbohydrates are the main sources of energy for school-age children. Carbohydrates are the main sources of energy for school-age children. Children should consume at least 130 grams of carbs every day. Choosing carbohydrates from whole grains, iron-fortified cereals, dairy products, fruits, vegetables, and legumes will help boost the nutrition of the child's diet. Protein is important for growth, strength, and muscle maintenance in school-age children. Children ages 4 to 8 need at least 19 grams of protein daily, and those ages 9 to 13 require 34 grams of protein daily. The protein needs for boys and girls in this age group is shown on the next slide. Note that the requirements differ by sex as well as age group. And this slide shows a sample MyPlate plan for this age group also. Children who are ill or picky eaters may benefit from a children's multivitamin and mineral supplement. And remember, only one a day, and to be careful about how these vitamins are stored, since children like to snack on them because they are usually sweet and in the shape of cartoon characters or gummy bears. Childhood obesity. Childhood obesity is influenced by genetics, family history, eating habits, physical activity levels, and environmental factors. Approximately 1 in 3 children, ages 2 to 19 years, are overweight or obese. These children are likely to reach puberty earlier than a child of normal weight. Childhood obesity increases risk for hypertension, type 2 diabetes, elevated blood lipids, and overweight and obese children are also likely to experience more shame, stigma, and bullying than a normal weight child. When assessing childhood obesity and child growth and development, we look at the body mass index, and the body mass index, or the BMI, fall into one of 4 categories. Underweight, BMI below the 5th percentile. Normal weight, BMI between the 5th and the 85th percentiles. At risk for overweight, BMI between the 85th and the 95th percentiles. Overweight, BMI at or above the 95th percentile. And we begin to be concerned about a child's BMI when they begin to hit elementary school age. We weren't as concerned before with the preschoolers and the toddlers because we know that a lot of times they will grow rapidly and lose their baby fat. But we begin to keep an eye on the child's weight during the elementary school years. Sedentary activities such as watching television, playing video games, and surfing the internet contribute to childhood obesity. And TV watching is the most sedentary activity that we see in children. And these activities are influenced by the media and advertisers. Physical inactivity is a major contributor to childhood obesity. A few decades ago, children spent the bulk of their free time playing outdoors in backyards, streets, playgrounds, parks, and greenways. Now, children spend more time indoors. Neighborhoods have changed significantly and are characterized with high volume traffic, smaller lots, densely packed streets, and fewer neighborhood parks. Many parents no longer feel safe letting their children play outdoors unsupervised. And in many neighborhoods, each house has its own playground equipment. And sometimes children don't play with other children the way they used to. And this, a lot of time, has to do with some safety issues. School meal programs. Schools are an ideal setting to help improve children's health by providing healthy meals, physical activity, and nutrition education. They face many challenges in helping children to eat healthy meals. Tight class schedules, crowded lunchrooms, unhealthy vending options, unhealthy a la carte options, and insufficient time for physical education and recess. With the coronavirus occurring and the school reopening in 2020, we will also begin to see a change in children's eating habits because these factors that we have just discussed will probably not exist in the same way. For example, crowded classrooms and crowded lunchrooms probably will change after this. And so we look forward to talking about how the coronavirus will change school meal patterns. Federal school meal programs provide healthy, low-cost meals to children. We have the school lunch program, the school breakfast program. And these programs must meet the dietary guidelines for Americans, and they often have more nutritious options than meals at home, and may provide the only nutritious meal for many low-income children. And that is one of the reasons why a lot of schools try to make sure that meals are available to children in the summer when school is let out. And again, with the coronavirus and more children either being taught online or in other types of setting, the availability of school meals will be a challenge. Children who participate in school meal programs consume more milk, vegetables, fruit juices, and meat, consume fewer soft drinks and meals high in saturated fat and calories, and have higher intakes of calcium, iron, magnesium, and B vitamins. Team Nutrition is a U.S. Department of Agriculture program that aims to alleviate childhood obesity and promote physical activity through nutrition education for children and caregivers, and training and technical assistance for food service staff.